Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. Um, it's good to be home. Good to be home. Good to be back in the studio this morning. Back in LJ. I'll tell you what, I think it's Whistleblower Monday, right? Whistleblower Monday. Oh, we'll get into that. You know, everything I'm hearing on TV, I'm wondering are we actually discussing an investigation that we could be doing into the coup attempt against our President of the United States, the dossier and all those great people? Are we discussing that? Oh, no, we're discussing another possible investigation against the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, because Hunter Biden, let's see, Ukraine. Hey, you know what? Beau Biden, okay. Beau Biden, remember, he died of brain cancer. I mean, really sad. Died of brain cancer. And then, Hunter felt, you can look this up. Hunter felt, so what I need to do is I need to leave my wife and take care of Beau's wife. Whatever. It's like Trump, and I'm the bad guy, right? Okay, good morning. Good to be back. I just want to make a brief statement, and it's before we get too far. When people are going through things, sometimes, you'll hear somebody say, I know how you feel. And, and I'm not being saying anything negative to anybody or how you reply to somebody. I know how you feel, but I've always been, when have been around some friends going through cancer, going through chemo treatments, and seeing what happens to their body and the deterioration and what they're trying to make it through to survive this cancer. I was never able to say, I understand how you feel. I understand what you're going through. But today, I just want to tell you out there, if you have a family member and that has gone through cancer, and you've tried to help them through, and you've been by their side through the chemo treatments, I understand what you're going through. So I'll leave it at that. This is family here on this show. Mom is through chemo treatment number 3, and we got another one in about 8 days. So, boy, wow. Through number 3. So we'll move on. Okay, so this morning, I want to recommend a book. And I don't do it very often, okay? I don't do it very often like, well, I do. What am I thinking about? So I'm going to recommend this book. And it's Peter Schweizer. Remember, he wrote Clinton Cash, okay? And here's the book right here. You can see it. See if I can get up there close enough. And it's called Secret Empires, all right? Secret Empires. And chapter 4 in this book is Biden's in the Ukraine, all right? Biden's in the Ukraine, chapter 4. Very detailed of what Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and what they did at this Burisma, is a Burisma gas company, okay? Did Joe Biden look the other way when $1.8 billion in taxpayer money disappeared? So, I think the largest gas company, while Vice President Biden was overseeing U.S. policy towards Ukraine, his son joined the board of one of Ukraine's most profitable and corrupt energy companies. So if you get this book and you read this chapter, okay, you will find out. But if you don't get this book and you tune in to MSNBC, they are doing a cover-up. Now, when they call it a cover-up, they are doing a cover-up, flat cover-up. So let's look at a couple things this morning. Now, I'm going to call for some pictures by the number, and that's what I do. I call them by the number, okay? And let's look at some of the things going on this morning, and then we'll get into some details, all right? Number one, right here. Now, this is yesterday on Meet the Press. I mean, Chuck Todd and MSNBC, they're going after this. So yesterday on Meet the Press, the president and the whistleblower, okay? Now, supposedly, the president of the United States is on a phone call. Whoa, that's not what I want next. I don't know if you have the pictures on loop. You may accidentally have them on loop. So go back to number one. There you go. Thank you. So yesterday, they're going through this, but supposedly the president, and I'll get his name in a minute, is on the phone with newly elected Ukrainian president, and he pressured him 8 times to look into Joe Biden, all right? Now, what we understand is the whistleblower did not overhear this conversation, is what we, and there are people on both ends of the line. Now, when you're president of the United States, and let's get this, let's go ahead and go to number 2, okay? Number 2, Trump pressed Ukrainian leader on inquiry into Biden's son. No, it does not read from the New York Times that we should have a special investigator special counsel go into the dossier, Peter Strzok, all the above. We don't know. That's not what the New York Times says. We're concerned about a phone call with a Ukrainian leader to try to cover up Biden's, plural, Hunter and Joe's corrupt dealings in Ukraine. Trump pressed Ukraine's leader on inquiry into Biden's son. Washington Post, how Trump and Giuliani pressured Ukrainians into investigate president's rivals. Trump repeatedly, from the Wall Street Journal, repeatedly pressured Ukrainian president to investigate Biden's son. Wow, don't we have that mixed up? Really? Like, remember back in 2015, 2016, remember when they were tapping Trump? Remember when they had spies infiltrate his campaign? Remember what the FBI did, James Comey, all that? Remember that? And we're talking about a phone call. Now, when world leaders get on the phone, okay, they are not on there alone. There is NSA, National Security, is that NSA? There are people on the line. So when 2 world leaders, let's clear this up. When 2 world leaders are on the phone, there's 2 people on the phone line, the 2 world leaders. Then there's 2 more, and maybe 2 more, and maybe 2 more. So this line is being monitored all the way through by different agencies. Now, wonder why right now, because I am not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. We're getting close to Iowa, okay? We're getting close to Iowa, the Democrat caucus in Iowa election. Warren, new polls, Elizabeth Warren is leading in Iowa with new polling, okay? Now, I did not say this, but I'm going to play, and it's going to be 4 minutes. I'm going to play an ABC investigation clip, ABC News. And when they ran this originally, Rush Limbaugh said Biden was done, finished. Now, I did not. I came out on the show. I said, well, he's not done yet. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, I did not jump on board. I want to be clear that Biden was finished. Rush Limbaugh said he was finished. One more. Let's go through a couple more, and then we'll play that clip. Number 3. Okay? Number 3, whistleblower complaint, August 12th. I mean, I'm telling you, it's time. Oh, now number 4, right? Progressive Dems on impeachment. All right? There's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The bigger national scandal isn't the president's law-breaking behavior. It is the Democrat Party's refusal to impeach him for it. And there is Steve, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Tennessee representative. You remember he brought out who did not show up for the hearings at the House Judiciary Committee, and he brought out a bucket of chicken, remember? Fried chicken. Steve Cohen from Tennessee, he's one we really take serious. We back off everything. We've been very weak. And here is the front runner. Now, Bernie Sanders doesn't stand a chance, okay? The other allegedly gay candidate, Cory Booker. I don't know why Cory. Peter Pan Buttigieg and his husband, all right? They got... Yeah, there you go, South Bend, Indiana. Oh, by the way, South Bend didn't fare so well this past weekend in Georgia, but we'll go over that in a minute. Cory Booker is getting ready to get out of the campaign. All right? One thing about the campaign, the Democrat primary, I want you to pay attention to. Unlike the Republican primary, where several candidates waited for actual votes before they got out. Go look at when the Democrat primary starts, okay, in Iowa, and then moves to New Hampshire and moves to South Carolina. How many candidates are going to actually be in the race and wait for votes instead of getting out like Cory Booker? And then Elizabeth Warren, the front runner now, she is soon to be, okay, the front runner in the votes. So in Iowa, they have a caucus. And as soon as Elizabeth Warren, okay, starts winning. Now, we don't know about the black vote in South Carolina. Seriously, they're talking about that. Right now, they are leading you to believe that the black vote in South Carolina cannot wait to vote for an old, crusty white guy, Joe Biden, which I find that hard to believe. Warren can be the front runner very clearly from Iowa to New Hampshire into South Carolina. Very quickly, she could be the front runner. All right? That being said, once she is clearly the front runner and looking like the nominee, watch. Because Democrats in the House, there's a lot of them that will have to fall into place behind her as their nominee. So, by failing to act, Congress is complicit. All right? There you go. So that's number 4. Now, I want to get in. Let me get one more, and then we'll take a break. Number 11. Okay. There's Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, and I think that's Hunter's daughter there. They're getting off Air Force Two. Joe Biden liked the, let's see, Biden's in Ukraine. Let's see if there's anything else in this book you would be interested in. Let's see. Biden's in China. That'll be an interesting one. Joe Biden in China and his son. What happens, folks, is foreign governments cannot grease the palms of directly elected officials. So that's why the kids are the ones and other family members that are getting the deals with foreign corporations and foreign countries to funnel the money back to finally touch that great politician. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go to break. We're talking about Biden this morning, whistleblower. We'll go over, just give me, before we do, I know I keep saying that, okay, I'm sorry. Give me number 43, okay? All right, number 43, key Dems inching toward impeachment. So if you can find number 40, there you go. Thank you very much. So when we get back, we're going to play an ABC clip. It's 4 minutes long, and this is the day that Rush Limbaugh said Biden's campaign was over. All right? So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. And what about those climate rallies, okay? Those emergency climate rallies. UN General Council starts today in New York City. We got a lot to do. Good to be back in the studio. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break.